growth and scaling as an entrepreneur without losing your freedom. Welcome to Freedom Entrepreneurship, where we answer one question: how can I have both growth and freedom? My name is Stephan Poschik. Let's get started. Today we want to talk about growing and scaling as an entrepreneur and how this is going to set you free without losing your freedom, without getting trapped in a situation that you need to work more, hustle more, grind more, and at the end of the day, yes, you probably have growing and scaling, but you definitely are losing your freedom and you are stuck in that situation. So in one of our last shows, we talked about the four different major pillars that Freedom Entrepreneurship is all about. And one of my favorite pillars we are going to cover in one of the next shows, where we talk about entrepreneurial mindset, where we talk about motivation, where we talk about founder psychology. And I mean, I just love to do videos like that because I can do videos in front of my computer with a virtual background, but it's just so much more cool here, being outside, being in the spring, being in the beautiful sun here in Sardinia in Italy, where I personally live in the meantime and where I have the pleasure and the opportunity to spend most of my life already. Another pillar, what we talk about, is business architecture. That was one of the last shows on how you need to set up your structure, how you need to set up your processes to be even able to talk about freedom in your entrepreneurial journey. And the fourth pillar is going to be AI as a freedom lever, so as the ultimate tool to make your life easier. Not to replace humans, but to make your life easier. But today, we want to talk about growing and scaling without losing your freedom. So let me give you an example. When I started as an entrepreneur 25 years ago, I started as a nutrition coach and as a personal trainer and mental health trainer. So I sold one-on-one trainings and I had no team. I was a solopreneur for the first 7 years of my entrepreneurial journey. And guess what? When you are basically exchanging time against money, you are running out of time pretty fast. Plus, depending on what type of services you are offering, you probably can also not do 20 personal trainer sessions in one single day. So that was the situation where I was running into within a very short period of time. So I was growing because I got more customers. I was scaling, I thought, because I did not have just one service like personal training, but I had another service like nutrition coaching or mental health training, and I basically could add these three things and I could offer the same thing to the same client. But I was running out of time because I could not do more than seriously 6, 8, sometimes 10 sessions a day, and I was doing them on a very regular basis, at least 6 days a week anyway. Now what? When you are doing so much with customers every single day, as a solopreneur you also need to do all the other things, like bookkeeping, accounting, maybe marketing, maybe writing proposals, maybe writing documents, writing nutrition reports and all of these things. So I literally built a business where the more I was growing, the more I lost my own freedom. Because growing meant working more time. And that's basically how a lot of entrepreneurs are growing their business on one side, and in the same situation they are losing their freedom. So how can you do this when you have already a bunch of employees or when you have a bunch of team members? So in general, let's talk about different opportunities on how you can grow and how you can scale. Again, that comes back to how is your business architecture? How is your business set up? Because there are certain ways on how you can grow, how you can scale. So the first opportunity I already told you, okay, just have more customers. But if you are in a business where you are changing time against money, you are going to run out of time at some point. let's talk about the next one. Employees. So growing and scaling with team members is one of the most common things what a lot of entrepreneurs are still doing. I did exactly the same. Guess what? After 7 years as a solopreneur, I started to build my first trainers around me, and my trainers started to serve our customers. That's wonderful. But it's a lot of effort because you need to hire team members. Now you need to become a leader. Now you need to find, attract, retain, develop great people. Now you really need to build an organization, and it's very, very cost intensive. But that's one of the very, very common ways on how you can grow and scale your business. Another way, and this was not around 25 years ago, is technology. Automation, AI, online systems, online platforms, scalable products. And like I said, when I started as an entrepreneur 25 years ago, AI was not there. Definitely not. I don't even had a smartphone. I mean, yeah, internet, of course, but no smartphones there yet, okay? No social media there yet. But nowadays we have this beautiful thing that's called AI. And AI, when you want to start to grow and scale, then it's a beautiful tool and an amazing, amazing, amazing tool. In my personal opinion, the best and coolest tool we ever had available from a technological perspective in the last 20, 30, 40 years, maybe even longer, because you can use this technology to make your life easier, to delegate a bunch of things, automate a bunch of things, and do other beautiful things. But that's not the topic from our today's call. That's actually the topic from the next show. So in a week from now, I'm going to talk about AI as a freedom lever, where everything is around this specific topic. But now let's get back to other opportunities on how you can grow and scale. Growing and scaling becomes very, very interesting when you're able to detach time, effort, and revenue. So when you can detach time from the revenue you are generating, then suddenly you have a very, very interesting opportunity to grow faster or grow more. Let me give you an example for that again. Like I said before, I did one-on-one coachings, but I could do basically group coachings. So now I cannot serve just one customer, but I can serve multiple customers. Let me give you another example. I still do one-on-one coaching for entrepreneurs. That's an annual program, which is just for 12 people for the whole year. Why? Because I protect my time, and one-on-one business coaching is very, very time intense. So that's the reason I just do 12 people every single year. But I do masterminds, basically here in this beautiful place in Sardinia. And the last mastermind, we had already 24 entrepreneurs from 5 different countries here. And again, I can help 24 people at the same time when I do a mastermind. So basically, I can have more people, which is also more revenue, with the same amount of time. This is what I can do when I do a group setting. But now the interesting part comes when you find a product or a service which is really unlimited scalable. Because even a mastermind, what I just told you, you can grow a mastermind, you can scale a mastermind, but at the end you also need to invest a lot of time again. So let me give you another example. What is an unlimited scalable product or service? We have what is called the CHC Academy, which is our online coaching and mentoring platform for entrepreneurs. For entrepreneurs who want to start their business, for entrepreneurs who are already at 6 figures and really want to grow and scale and really hit the accelerator, or for entrepreneurs who already have a team, they are at 7 figures or want to accomplish 7 figures and way above, because there we talk also about leadership, about hiring, HR, and all of these things. So this is a monthly membership. And the time and effort I personally need to invest in that is very, very small. But the cool thing is, for me, nothing changes if we have 10 members in this academy, or 100 members, or 1,000, or 10,000 members. So here is the perfect example from detaching the time you need to invest from the revenue what you can generate. And this is a very interesting example on how you can grow and scale a product without needing to work more or grind more. Okay? So I talked a lot about these different things here, but again, there are other opportunities when you are already an established entrepreneur on how you can grow and scale. So let me talk about a couple of others from a strategic perspective. So from a strategic perspective, it's interesting because from a strategic perspective, you can multiply yourself at a certain point when you offer a licensing version or a franchise version. So when you have a service-based business, or when you have a brick and mortar store or a mom and pop shop, think about the second location what you don't run yourself. So you can franchise probably your business, or you can create a licensing version of all the IP of everything what you already did. And there are a couple of very, very, very successful people out there who are teaching entrepreneurs, and they have licensing systems where you basically can just plug into it and use this for your own business. So why plug into another system when you can license your own business, when you can build a franchise version of your own business and you can offer it to the world? Okay? So that's another way on how you can grow and scale your business. Good. Let's talk about another one. You see, all these things, what I'm telling you, are for different situations in your entrepreneurial journey. Because licensing your services or building a franchise is nothing you do when you are at the beginning. This is what you are doing when you already have an established business, when you already have tremendous track record, when you have great processes and systems in place. Then you can think about licensing. Then you can think about franchising, okay? Before, it doesn't make sense. Good. Next opportunity. Next opportunity is you can start investing. When you have enough revenue, when you have enough profit, you can start to invest in assets or in other companies. So also this is something where you can grow your business or where you can grow your revenue without needing to invest a lot more time. So there are a lot of passive investments in real assets out there, like real estate. Again, it's just an example, like real estate. Or think about investing in other companies. So basically you can start to become an investor in startups or in a portfolio of established companies. All of this is also an opportunity on how you can grow and scale in the future. But let's get another step a little bit further. So why should you just invest in other companies when you probably can also just buy and acquire other companies? And here it gets really, really interesting, okay? Because especially at the moment, there are tremendous opportunities on how you can grow and scale by acquiring other companies. Why? I'll give you an example again. Most small businesses are owned by baby boomers. And baby boomers are at an age where they can already retire, or they want to retire, or they will retire pretty soon. But the sad part is that most of these business owners do not have a successor or do not know how to sell their business and are also dependent on the money, on the revenue they are generating with their business. But they would love to have more freedom. They would love to retire. They would love to spend time with their kids, with their grandkids, maybe also go to places like that. Okay? So here is the opportunity. You can grow and scale by acquiring your competitors or other companies. And this is how you can add a lot to your portfolio and to your company. Okay? So that's nothing for beginners. That's nothing when you are starting your entrepreneurial journey. But when you have an established business, that's one of the very, very, very interesting things on how you can grow and scale your business. But, here is the but. All of these examples I just gave you can either accelerate your freedom and make you tremendously successful, or they can completely wipe out your freedom, your free time, your social life, your private life, everything. Okay? So, how can I make sure that I grow and scale without losing my freedom? First thing, again, is I need to have a very clear goal, a very clear vision. Where do I want to go? Okay? So you need to understand yourself. You need to know, where do you want to go as an entrepreneur? Where do you want to end up as the CEO or the founder or the owner of this company? So, do you want to be in operations for the next 5 or 10 years? Awesome, good. But then you need another strategy. Do you want to step out of operations and probably be just a strategic advisor to your company? Wonderful, that's amazing. But you need a different strategy for that. Probably you want to step out of your company completely and you just want to be the owner of your company. Somebody else is running the show. Somebody else is doing the operations, the strategy, all of these things. Okay? So you need to understand, where do you want to go? What is your personal vision? And based on that, you can come up with a growth and scaling strategy. I know I gave you a couple of very, very big growth and scaling directions today, but think about where you are in your entrepreneurial journey and what growth and scaling opportunity might be a version for you at the beginning or at the moment. And I will go much, much more into detail for all of these separate growth and scaling strategies in future shows. But for now, think about your vision. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up? Where are you in your entrepreneurial journey? And based on that, come up with a growth and scaling strategy that is the right one for you without losing the freedom. That you can enjoy whatever life you want, and you probably also have the opportunity to live in a beautiful place like that and grow your freedom and your business. Thanks for today and a lot of success. See you soon.